Hey guys, this is Cody with Princess Craft RV. Come along with me as we do a walkthrough on the vintage 19 ERD. So getting started right up front here, it's going to ride on a 2 5/16 ball on your coupler. To get this guy to latch down, once you get this drop down onto the ball, just pick up on the back here and slide it forward. Make sure these two ears right here, one on each side, drop down into that cavity below. That's going to ensure that you get a good solid latch onto the ball. To get it to release, all you got to do is pick up and slide back, and that's going to release the coupler from the ball and allow you to unhook. To finish up your hookup process, we're going to have safety chains here that are going to loop and clip onto your receiver hitch on your tow vehicle. You're going to have a breakaway cable that's going to get hooked up to engage electric brakes on the trailer if you do get detached. Good replacement for this is the zip cord. This is usually really long. A lot of people end up snagging it or it drags the ground, and there's no really good way to hook it up. The zip cable makes a quick, easy replacement on that. And last but not least, we're going to have your 7-way cord. This is going to run all your lights, turn signals, brakes, running lights, and the electric brakes on the trailer when this is plugged into the tow vehicle. Moving up from there, we've got your electric tongue jack. Pretty basic operation. We've got a switch to run it up and down, and this little orange button above it is going to be for the light underneath. If you need to manually operate this thing, you're going to pop this little rubber plug out, and you're going to see a little drive right down inside that you can use a socket on to turn this to drive it up or down, whichever way it needs to go. Moving from there, we're going to have your propane underneath this black cover. If you need to service the cylinders, remove them, have them refilled, exchanged, whatever you need to take place, all you got to do is lift up on this cover and remove it. And that's going to give you full access to your cylinders. To remove your cylinders from the trailer, whichever one you're going to be removing, make sure that the valve is turned off. It'll say on here open and closed. Remove your gas line from whichever cylinder you need to remove. Undo the wing nut on top. Lift up your regulator. You can take your crossbar all the way out, and then you can remove your cylinder. Now this is a regular 20-pound cylinder. It can be refilled, or you can run this through an exchange like a Home Depot or Walgreens or wherever to get it exchanged. To put it back on is just going to be just the opposite. Just set it back onto the stand. Get your crossbar. And fit your crossbar back in there. Don't forget to pick your regulator up. Put your regulator back on. Put your wing nut back on. Just snug that down. It doesn't need to be crazy tight. Put your gas line back on, and you're good to go there. Then all you got to do is put your cover back on, like that. Now, if you just need to turn cylinders on and off, there's a little flap on the top of this that allows you access to the cylinders that way. All you got to do to get into there is loosen up these two little screw latches here, and then they tip back out of the way and allow you to open that up, and gives you access to your service valves on your cylinders so you can open and close them without removing the whole cover. Once you're done in there, just close it. Don't forget to relatch these latches. These lids will blow off if you don't have them secured. And that's our LP service stuff there. Moving behind, just behind your propane cylinders, is going to be your battery. Inside the battery box, you would find a standard wet lead acid battery, which basically just means it's not maintenance free. You do need to maintain the water levels in it. It's an interstate battery. It comes with a 1-year warranty from the manufacturer that can be serviced at any interstate batteries facility. Moving just underneath your battery and everything here, we'll find your sewer hose storage. To get this to open, all you got to do is turn this little lever here. The door's going to open, and you can fit a sewer hose or something else in storage there. Usually your premium sewer hoses are not going to fit into these short tubes. There's just not enough room to fit a good quality sewer hose in there. So that pretty much covers everything up on the tongue of the trailer. So let's go to the off door side and check everything out over here. So moving over here, just to get started, you're gonna find some information from your manufacturer that they've put on here. Your tire and loading information gives you your tire size, tire pressure. The little yellow tag gives you your full tank of water weight there. This just helps you determine all your availabilities for weights when you get ready down to loading. The white tag below that's gonna be your manufacturer's information with your VIN. You've got tire size on there again and some other weights, information, thing like that. Just below that, we're gonna find a storage compartment. Very easy to get into. This actually passes all the way through the front of the trailer, so it's very large. You can fit lots of stuff in here for storage. It is equipped with a slam latch, which all that means is you just let it go and it slams shut. And it's keyed lock. If you wanna keep it open and it uses a magnet, just push it up to the magnet and it stays open. Just below that, we're gonna find your stabilizer jack. This is just a stabilizer jack, cranks down with a crank or a 3/4 inch or 19 millimeter socket on an electric drill to run it down right here. And you just snug these up to the ground. They are not used to lift or level the trailer in any manner. Moving over from there, we're gonna have your freshwater fill. To fill this guy up, just stick your water hose in there, fill it up until the water backwashes out or it comes out of this little vent here. And that tells you that you're full, and to get water out of that, you would use the water pump that is controlled from the inside of the trailer. I'll show you where that is once we get to the inside. Other three things we've got here. First off, we've got our port spray. To use this, it's gonna come with a blue kind of a curly water hose. It's a quick connect, very easy to use. You just push this collar back right here, push the hose in and release the collar, that'll latch it on. And when you get ready to unhook it, push that collar in, pull it out, and you're done and ready to go. Next to that's gonna be your city water connection. This is gonna be where you're gonna hook your water hose up whenever you have connection to a hose bib for water, and you do wanna use a water pressure regulator and line on that. We do provide one to you. There are upgraded options for that if you're not very fond of plastic. There are brass ones that do a much better job. Next, that's gonna be our black water tank flush. Don't get these two confused. This one's fresh water. This one is a black water flush. You want to use a separate hose. Whenever you dump your black tank, you're gonna hook a hose up to this. You're gonna keep your waste holding tank valve open and just let it run for about 5 to 10 minutes. That's gonna help flush everything out of the tank that may not have come out whenever you just dump the tank. So use a separate hose just in case you do get a backwash incident. You don't want to then use it for fresh water. Moving just underneath that, we're going to find our dump station. We've got two valves down here. One is going to be for your wastewater. They call it wastewater holding tank. This is going to be your gray water, which is going to be sink and shower water. And then this one here that's labeled sewage is gonna be for your black tank. That's gonna be your toilet. To get everything hooked up, all you gotta do is remove this cap. It's a bayonet fitting, it just twists. And then you'll put your sewer hose on, give it a lock. You're gonna dump your sewage holding tank first because you're gonna have probably some solids, maybe some other stuff in there. Dump that one first. Once it's empty, close it off and follow it up with your gray tank, and that'll help rinse that hose out and keep everything hopefully nice and clean for you. And that's pretty much it on dumping tanks. It's pretty straightforward, pretty simple process. Moving back from there, you'll see an attention driver here to check your wheel lug nuts. They are behind the baby moon cover. They do need to be torqued to 100 foot-pounds. It's a good idea. Here at Princess Craft, we recommend it before you hit the road for every trip, just to verify that they are good and tight. You don't end up with a wheel loss situation. Not fun on that one. Just next to that, you're gonna have your furnace exhaust. It's gonna be a Dometic furnace. This does have some cautions on it about being hot. This will get hot when you are using your furnace, so don't cover it, block it, put your hands on it, anything like that. Adding a bug screen over this is a really good idea. The furnace can be quite expensive to repair if a dirt dauber or another insect gets in there and builds a nest and affects the operation of it. So throwing like a $20 screen over this is a really good idea. Moving back from there, we're going to have some connections. First one here is going to be your 30 amp 120 supply. You'll see here you've got 3 prongs. One of them is an L shape. Your cord's going to have the same L shape on it. All you're going to do is match the 2 up and then use the lock ring on there to secure the cord to the trailer. Below that, we're going to have 2 coax connections. One's going to labeled cable and one is labeled satellite. So those do run on different signals, do require different type of cabling. So the top one would be park cable. So if you go to a campground that has cable provided, you would hook that into the top one. If you're going to run an exterior satellite system for, golly, who are the service providers? Dish or DirecTV, you would want to hook that up to the satellite connection down here. Do we need to reshoot that? Okay. Moving over from there, we're going to have your 6-gallon water heater. To get this open for service, all you've got to do is tip this up. You're going to turn it, and that's going to allow you to open the water heater door. Now this just hinges so you can let it hang. In here, we're going to have a couple things going on. First and foremost is going to be your drain plug right here in the middle. This is also an anode rod on this water heater. This does need to be checked and removed and replaced periodically. Generally, if you're not going to use the trailer or the water system for a while, it's a good idea to remove that out. Just pull it out, loosen it. Make sure you relieve any pressure off before you pull the plug using the pop-off valve here at the top, or opening the faucets on the hot water side on the inside so this doesn't have any pressure behind it. And give that anode rod an inspection periodically, because it will break down. It's designed to do that, and you'll want to replace it. While you've got that out, they make a flush tool. It's a good idea to go ahead and try to flush any sediment out that may have built up into the water heater at that time. It's just going to help this water heater last longer, as well as give you more hot water so it's not taken up by sediment space. Over in the bottom left-hand corner, you'll find an on-off switch. This is going to be for the 110 heating element for your water heater. So if you were plugged into shore power and you want to run the water heater on electric, you're going to flip that switch to the on position. Just don't forget to turn it off when you are done using. If for some reason you do fire this up and there is no water in it and you turn that on, it could burn the heating element out. So do make sure there is water in the water heater before you turn it on, either gas or electric. That pretty much covers things on the exterior of the water heater. And we'll show you the gas operation from the inside of the trailer. Here's going to be our rear stabilizer for you there. Let's see. Oh, low point drains are back up here. So right here underneath the trailer, on the off door side, kind of below the water heater, you'll see a red and a blue water hose or water line with plugs in them. These are going to be your low point drains. So when you're going to store the trailer or you're going to winterize it, you're going to want to pull these plugs out and let the water drain out of the system here. It's going to help remove as much water as possible from the trailer. So moving around to the back side, not a whole lot going on here. You do have it is pre-wired and mounted to receive a backup camera. It's a great add to be able to see behind these when you're going down the highway or even backing into a spot. Makes life really easy, gives you a good clean picture. Other than that, we've got where your license plate will mount. There'll be a paper tag here when you receive the trailer, and when your metal one comes in, just screws right on, easy replacement. Moving over to the door side of the trailer, we've got your fridge access for servicing. So to get this off, it's got clips in the bottom corners. If you want to open them, just turn that to where that latch is facing up and down on each corner. Give it a little tug from the bottom first and then drop it down. You can see there's ears running across the top to allow you to pull that down. So in here, you're going to find a couple things. 110 outlet and your little burner orifice chambers over here if you're running your fridge on gas. More than anything, this is kind of for us as a service facility to gain access to wiring and checking things out. It is a good idea to go ahead and open this up periodically and make sure you don't have any nest being built or anything like that going on in here that could potentially affect the operation. Again, they do make bug screens for these vents to help alleviate any insects getting in and building nests. And you'll see this little drain tube right here that comes out. This is normal. This is supposed to be here. It's for condensation buildup, and it just allows it to drain out. When you put this back on, just make sure that you get these latched in the right direction. This is going to be the lock position. If you do forget to latch these, bad thing is this will probably blow off going down the road. Just below that, again, you'll find another attention drivers to check the wheel lug nuts on the trailer. Do not forget to do that. Moving over from there, you're going to find another TV mount. So this can be, the TV from the inside can be removed and dropped in out here to come outside, sit under your awning, and enjoy some TV while you're outside. You'll find your cable antenna hookup right here. So this would run from here to the TV and allow you to have cable or antenna input to the TV, as well as your 110 outlet to either plug your TV into or run any 110 accessories that you may want to hook up out here. Last thing on this side on the exterior, two other things. You're going to find the other large access to the pass-through compartment on the front, and you'll see here again we are equipped with a slam latch that locks. Just pull up on it, set it up against the magnet, and that's going to give you your access to the inside storage here. Just forward of that, you'll find this plug port that says solar plug. This is where you can plug in a portable solar panel. This two-prong deal is pretty universal these days. This tag does say ZAMP, solar ready. A lot of the manufacturers will provide that plug, or make it an option that you can get with almost any brand of solar panel. Some good ones are ZAMP, Go Power, Furrion. If you're looking to kind of get a little off grid or to recharge the battery without having to plug it in, it's a good alternative, is just to use some solar. And that pretty much covers the exterior of your vintage trailer. You do have some outside speakers here and the awning. I'll show you how to operate the awning as soon as we step inside the trailer. So let's go inside and check things out. All right, guys, so here we are inside the vintage 19 ERD. Coming just inside the door here, we've got a few things going on. First and foremost, we're going to find your awning switch. This is going to run your electric patio awning, and very simple operation, in and out. Push the in button to roll it back up to the camper, and use the out button to run it all the way out. Just run it out until you see the aluminum roller tube, and there's a little flap at the end of the awning that you'll want to see hanging almost straight down. That'll tell you that you're pretty much all the way out where you need to be. Our other three switches here, this first one coming in the door, this is actually going to be some lights that are inside your exterior speakers that are kind of going to act as a patio light, if you will, or just a cool accent lighting. The next one here, this switch is going to be for the LED light strip that runs along the awning to give you some good patio light there. And the last one here is going to be for your step light for the entry step into the trailer, so you don't trip on it and you can see it at night. So if you're going out at night, leave that one on and you'll have some light when you come back to see to get in. Moving up from there, you're going to find your aux-sat TV hookup. So this top one says aux and sat. So this is where you would hook up for satellite or cable. And then the bottom one is just going to be straight from the roof mount antenna up on top. If you're going to be using anything on this one for your satellite, make sure your booster's turned off, and also if you hook up to park cable, turn that off. That's going to block some signals, so make sure that the booster switch is turned off if you're using anything other than TV feed. Moving over from there, you'll find some RCA inputs. This is going to be for audio video connections to the TV. Moving over from there is just a 110 outlet to plug a TV into for power. And this is going to be your TV mount just above that. Now this TV mount is kind of designed to move around the trailer, so it's very easy to remove. All you got to do is kind of swing it out so you can gain access to the back here. Just grab a good solid hold and lift straight up, and you'll see that this kind of has like a V slot on it, or a V channel, and it just slides in here. Now this can be relocated to the bedroom, or it can be relocated to the exterior of the trailer, so you can move your TV around. Or you can buy more than one mounts and just have TVs pretty much everywhere. Obviously you don't want to leave one on the exterior of the trailer, but you could buy one and put it permanently in the bedroom. Last thing coming right inside the door, On this wall is going to be your LPCO alarm down here at the bottom. It does have a test button in the top right hand corner. Check these things periodically, make sure they stay working, and it needs to be replaced every 7 years. These do need to be replaced. There's some other lights on here will tell you what kind of leaks you might be experiencing, and it's going to make a lot of noise if you have a leak. Just across from there, at the entry door, we're going to find your fire extinguisher. Biggest thing about this, hopefully you'll never need to use it, but to make sure it's ready in case you do, this little green button on top, push it down, make sure it pops back up. As long as it's popping back up, it tells us we've got pressure in your fire extinguisher and it's ready to go. Your entry door handles and things here, we've got a couple things here. So one thing to write down and maybe remember is this door code. This is going to be for the lock for the door, so in case you lose your keys, this is where you need to look or make note of it and remove the sticker so you know what key code goes to the door lock. The red lever here is going to be the deadbolt lock. That's actually going to secure this trailer when you're inside, or whenever you leave and lock it with the key. That's going to turn and keep you from being able to open the door. To get out, just pull the paddle release there, and that's going to open the door up for you. If you want to use just the screen door, to get that to separate, just push down on this lever here. You can push the door open, close your screen door, and then move your screen slider over. That's going to help keep the bugs out, but still give you the accessibility of the screen door, and you can still get in and out by using the same lever that you use to release it from the entry door. To get it to latch back to the entry door, just push it out to it, and it latches on just like that. Just above the entry door, we've got your smoke alarm. It's a 9-volt powered smoke alarm. Very basic. Just remember to check your 9-volt battery, check the operation of it, and replace the battery as needed so it stays in good operating condition. All right, so moving back into the dinette area here, starting up top, you're going to find some lights in each corner. Very easy operation on these. They just have a push button at the bottom of them to turn them on and off. And then this twin one underneath has a push button right in the middle to turn them on and off. Now going down the road, things can kind of shake loose. It's a good idea to check these globes on them and make sure they're still tight. I've seen them fall off, so they're very easy to check. There's just a little plastic nut up inside. Check them periodically, obviously when the bulb is cooled off so you don't burn yourself. And make sure those are tight so your globes don't fall off. In the middle, you'll find your drive radio with a power button. Zone controls are going to be for interior, exterior, volume. This thing can connect to your phone and run in Bluetooth to stream things. And this will also output video to your TV whenever you run it through the RCA cables that are over at the TV. And then inside, you'll find your storage cabinets up top there that are just held in place with a barrel catch for the doors. So they just push open and close very easily. And here's kind of the camera ready thing that we were talking about if you wanted to add a rear view camera to this thing to help see. Now for your windows on this trailer, the very back one's going to be a slider window. To get that to open, you're just going to pull this lever kind of out towards the center of the trailer, and it allows you to slide the window open. It's going to leave you a screen if you want to open the screen. Screen can pull open too. It's not as smooth, but it opens up. Just pull it nice and straight and it'll open up for you if you don't want to keep the screen closed. And once you get everything all closed back up, you can just push that shut and it'll latch right back into place. To cover the window, it's just going to be these curtains here, and they just Velcro back with a strap, and then your curtains just pull closed. That's going to give you your window coverings. Now this window behind my head here operates exactly the same way as this window. Let me show you on the other side of the dinette. Opposite of the door is going to be your fire exit window. Now to use this one, it's got this little red lever here. You're just going to kind of give it a push in to where it lines up to release it, and then push it out. If you just want to use this window for ventilation, you can latch it just in place like that, and you still have a screen. If you've got to actually exit the trailer, you're just going to grab this red tab here, yank, and that screen's going to pop right out of there, and then this thing can actually push all the way out through this and allow that window to swing freely. When you're done using that window though, just pull that back in, rotate the latch back into place, and lock it down. Underneath here, you'll also find some audio speakers for your entertainment. Now to make this thing into your optional bed, I like to pick all my cushions up and kind of move them out of the way first. Just stand them up. That's going to help keep things out of the way while I'm trying to put everything down on the table. Now to use this table, got to fold the legs up. So this is like a card table. Just push in on the hinge in the middle, and it's going to allow you to fold your legs in. Once you get your legs in, you'll see these Velcro strips on the side. They're just going to match up with the supports underneath there. And all you're going to do is pick your table up, drop it in there like that, and then take your cushions and fill in your bed like that. So this extra cushion right here sits behind the off-door side seat back to kind of fill in the gap and also give you your extra cushion there for the filler. And that makes your secondary bed in this trailer. So to take it back up is just going to be the opposite. We're just going to pull all our cushions up. Pull our table out. And stand our legs up. Do make sure whenever you pull these back out that you do get the hinge engaged all the way. So kind of give it a pull in the middle there. Just watch your fingers, make sure you don't pinch your fingers or anything. And when you're moving this table around, try to avoid putting any extra stress on the legs when they're locked into place. Underneath your dinettes, before I put all the cushions back in place, we'll find some storage. So underneath this one, you've got a pretty good cavity here. That little panel in the back is to protect your wiring that runs through to your exterior taillights. So try not to cram anything back in there. And on the off-door side in the back, you'll find another little storage area. Now this one here, you can get, it opens up as well, but this is not designed for storage. This is actually going to give you access to your water heater. So down here you'll find your water heater, and down here on the very bottom you're going to find a valve. This is for winterizing and bypassing this water heater. Got a valve here on the hot line and one on the cold line. If you want to winterize this, these valves are going to turn to where they're running in line with the plastic line. Right now they're facing the water heater, which means the water is going to flow into the water heater and out. When they're turned the other way, it's just going to follow this loop and completely bypass the water heater, which is what we want to do when we're winterizing the trailer. There's no point in putting 6 gallons of antifreeze into the water heater when you can drain it all out. A couple of other things under here. We do have another 110 outlet that is GFCI protected, which means there is a GFCI outlet in this trailer that protects this outlet. So if it trips, this outlet may not work. This little vent right here is going to be for heater, and that pretty much covers your dinette area. So let me get all your cushions back into place and we'll move on. One more thing about your dinette, whenever you get ready to hit the road, it's a good idea to put this table down into the bed position. You don't have to put the cushions over it, but Velcro it down into place. It's going to keep it from bouncing around and damaging your table or anything else in the trailer. So moving over to your kitchen area. Starting at the bottom, we'll start at the bottom, work our way up. We've got our 3 drawers for you there that are all on guides and barrels just for storage. And then we're going to find your lighting accent switch is actually going to be for this blue light that you'll see right here underneath the sink. And moving up from there, we've got your sink. Comes equipped with a sink cutter / cutting board. Now to use your sink, it's pretty explanatory. Hot's on your left, cold's on your right, and your head can rotate around there. And we've got your drain plug there if you want to hold some water in there to do anything with that. Just over your sink, we're going to find a cabinet. Inside that cabinet, this is going to be your exterior spray hose right here. It's going to hook up to that outside spray port that I talked about that was a quick disconnect. So it's very simple to use. Make sure whenever you get ready to store this that you pick it up, hold it straight up and down, push in the lever on that, and drain the water out of this thing because they do hold water. It's going to be your owner's manuals, paperwork, plus some other stuff that the manufacturer provides to you. And in here also you will find some other stickers, some certifications, trailer weights, a lot of the same information that you may find on the outside, but some other stuff as well. And also you will find your 110 outlet for your microwave. This cord runs to your microwave, so whenever you're putting stuff in and out of the cabinet here, make sure that you don't accidentally unplug your microwave and then it doesn't work and you think there might be a problem. For your lighting over here, you're going to have a switch just above the sink on the bottom side of the cabinet. It's going to control your lighting just above your microwave, and then also an accent light that runs across the top. To run your light just directly over the sink, it's going to have a little push button right in the middle, just so you can light that area. Also under here, we're going to have another GFCI protected 110 outlet, and we have a USB charge port station that you can plug in, cell phone or whatever, and charge there. Again, this window operates like the rear window. Biggest difference is this one's going to be equipped with aluminum blinds. They do that here in the kitchen area. Fabric can be a fire hazard, plus if you splash any grease, water, anything on them, it tends to damage fabric stuff. So they use aluminum blinds back there. They operate just like household blinds. Moving over from there, we're going to have your microwave. Operates just like a microwave with turntable, timer, all that good stuff. It's just a standard microwave, nothing fancy about it for you there. Moving down, we're going to have your vent hood with a light and fan. So to use that, you're just going to turn it on. It's going to pull the air out and ventilate it throughout the trailer. And then we just have your light. So moving over to your 3-burner cooktop with a glass cover. To use this, you want to pull up on the front of the cover, rotate it back, and then tip it backwards like that so it's out of your cooking space. And we've got your 3 burners under here. To use these, all you got to do is turn this to high or low. There's not really a specific position for lighting. And then all you have to do is turn your striker here, just rotate it to the right, and that's going to strike and give you a flame there, and then you can set your flame, and that's for all 3 burners. The last knob over here is for your oven in here. Now to use the oven, on the bottom in the back you'll see a pilot light. So on the very right hand knob, you're going to have to turn it to the flame position, push and hold that knob in, and then use a stick lighter to light your pilot back here. Once it's lit, continue to hold that button in for another 5 to 10 seconds. When you release it, the pilot should sustain on its own, and then you can set your temperature and do your baking in the oven and whatever else you'd like to do in there. Little button on the far right over here is for a cool blue accent light that comes in on this cooktop here. Pretty cool, kind of gives it some nice accenting. Now, whenever you get ready to leave with this thing or hit the road, make sure you do put your glass cover back over your burners. Just remember to let your burners be completely cooled before you close the glass back over them, so you don't end up with any glass shattering, and then that just snugly fits down into place there. Also, this is made to be used with RV-sized cooking appliances, so try not to use your giant skillet that you have at the house. You could end up actually melting something or causing some other problems down the road for yourself. And that pretty much covers our kitchen. Moving over to the other side, let's talk about our fridge operation. So if you open up the freezer door on the top, to get either of these open, all you have to do is rotate that handle and lightly pull out. So you'll see this handle does control some clips right here. Just pull it out, and up top here is going to be your temperature control. And this fridge is controlled automatically by a temperature control device. All you have to do is turn it on and off. So up here we have your on-off button on the far left. When you turn it on, you're going to hear an audible beep, and then it's going to give you your mode. So this is a 110 or gas or LP gas fridge. If you're in the auto mode, it's going to automatically choose the most reliable power source, which if you're plugged into shore power should be 110. If you're traveling down the road, you should be running it on gas to keep your refrigerator nice and cold. If If you want to manually switch it to gas, just push the button in. If the auto light's off, it should be in gas mode. Now, as long as everything lights off, it does light automatically and everything works just fine. This little check light should stay off. If the check light comes on when you're trying to operate it in gas mode, could be that there was some air in the line and you may need to turn the refrigerator off and then back on a few times to help cycle all the air out of the system. And here you have a picture of the inside of your refrigerator. Now there's a kind of a temperature control device up here in the top right. You'll see it here, sticker that says warm or colder. So if you actually move this thing up and down, it's actually going to give you a couple of degrees temperature change. It's not significant. It's not a whole lot. But other than that, that's pretty much it for your refrigerator there. Just make sure when you hit the road that these are closed all the way so they don't swing open and everything stays cold. And whenever you get ready to store, you'll want to prop these open. So you can put something in here just to prop them open enough so these don't get, so the refrigerator and freezer don't get funky when they dry out. Just below that, we're going to find your power distribution panel. So this is going to be your 110 and 12 volt distribution. Everything comes in here and goes out of here. So these are going to be your 110 breakers. You'll see here they're labeled converter, GFI, air conditioner, receptacles, micro, and water heater, and main for the top one there. So all those are going to be there. And these are going to be your 15 amp standard automotive style blade fuses, and they are all labeled over on this side. So if you have a power issue with something not working, start here and check some stuff and see if you can alleviate the problem by flipping the breaker or replacing a fuse. Moving up, just in the ceiling here, we've got your Dometic air AC. So to operate this thing, you've got a couple of different flaps on the sides here, and then also on the sides here that can be used for different types of air control. Generally, if you're cooking, you definitely don't want the side facing the cooktop open. If you want to use the side vents, it's a good idea to close this center vent here. So you just have a little slider right here, and that's going to force more air out of the sides. If you want to keep it all open, you can. It's just going to have more airflow coming out of everywhere. Now, to actually turn it on and off are going to be these two knobs here on the bottom of it. You can see here you've got a blue pattern with a fan all the way at the top, and then on the other side is gray. So if you turn this to the gray side, it's just going to be fan. So you're going to have a low, medium, high speed fan control. On this side is going to be cold. So you'd have low, medium, high, cold control. And we do recommend running these on high fan to prevent any freeze up that may occur due to running it and not getting enough air movement. On the other knob is going to be your temperature control. So this is just going to rotate. This has a heat symbol on it. It's not really going to, it's not for any heat. This is equipped for optional heat, but it is not actually in place to be used. So if you turn this up, it's not actually going to heat the room. It's just going to be a warmer temperature than what you have it currently set at. So that's how you use your air conditioner. They do a great job and will keep you nice and comfortable in your trailer. So moving into the hallway here, we're going to have your shower. Basic operation on your shower, hot and cold knobs with your shower head. Now just remember that you have limited hot water in an RV. So they do flow controls, plus this one has adjustable position on the head there. And you've got your hot and cold knobs. Now to close your shower curtain, basically all you got to do is slide that forward, and it's held closed with a magnet, so it pops right open whenever you're done, and you just slide it back out of the way. There's a shelf in here to keep your soap on or shampoo bottles or whatever you need on that. Now for privacy in here, your bathroom door swings open and pushes all the way back against the wall. Now make sure you pull your latch in once you get to the other wall so it comes closed. And then there's a latch up at the top you can put into place to keep somebody from pushing this door open. So you have kind of your privacy into the master portion of the trailer, as well as all of your personal space for the shower and the bathroom. Now in your bathroom, coming in here just on the wall, away from the toilet, we've got two switches. This top switch here is going to control your ceiling light. And the switch below that's going to be for your water heater. So to use your water heater on gas, first you have to have your propane on, and then you're going to flip that switch to on. The red reset light's going to come on for about 10 seconds, and then it's going to shut off when it goes into ignition mode. As long as the reset light stays off, everything's working fine on the water heater. If it comes back on, you once again may have air in the system. You might need to shut it off, or there could be an ignition problem going on, and it may need further looking into. So using your vanity area here, we just have a faucet, hot and cold water. Hot's on your left, cold's on your right. Just above that, we've got your medicine cabinet where you can store all your goodies. Underneath the sink, you're going to find plumbing and excess outside shower hookups and all kinds of good stuff there. And you've also got a bottle of chemical to go with your toilet. Just next to the toilet, underneath the cabinet, you're going to find your GFCI outlet for the trailer. This is what's going to control the other outlets that say GFCI protected on them. There's two buttons in the middle to test and reset this outlet. Check it periodically, make sure things continue to work. And if for some reason your outlets aren't working, this is another place to check and make sure it's good. We've got a heater vent next to the toilet there to keep you warm. And then our toilet here is going to be a foot flush. To use it, all you got to do is step down on the foot pedal about halfway. It's going to add water to the bowl. You know, you want about half of the bowl full. Do your business. Once you get done, push the pedal all the way down. The blade valve is going to open and everything's going to go down into the black tank. Remember that anytime you're using the black tank, you do want to have chemical in the black tank to control waste digestion and odors. There's lots of different stuff on the market. So just, you know, find which one you like and go with it. Up on top, we do have your exhaust fan. Just opens up by rotating the knob. You can set your height on that, and then this button right here is going to turn the fan on, and this is just going to suck air out of here. So if you're using the shower and want to pull that moisture out, you know, you can do that. Or in the industry, we like to call this a fart fan, and it helps kind of clear the air for you. All right, so moving into the bedroom. Coming in, first thing, we've got your Dometic furnace control. Now this has two control areas on it. The top one's going to be for the power on and off. Now these switches are a little tough to move for the main power. So if you can read on it, it says off with an arrow pointing that way. Now it has to physically click all the way over. So that would be on. So if you're going to turn it off, it's got to physically click all the way over to be in the off position. If you want to turn it on, just push it the other way and it'll be straight up and down. On the bottom is going to be your temperature control. So cooler, warmer, all you have to do is slide that to choose your temperature. And then it's got a room temperature readout right there in the middle. Just below that's going to be our monitor panel for our tanks and our battery. All you have to do is push the button there and it'll give you the corresponding light for levels. And the last thing on here is going to be our water pump control. If you're dry camping or traveling down the road carrying water in the fresh water tank, just turn that water pump on. That's going to pressurize your water system and allow you to use the toilet, wash your hands, anything like that. As long as there's water in the fresh water tank for you to use, you can do it that way. Once again, this only needs to be used if you're pulling water from the freshwater tank and you're not hooked up to a city water connection with a water hose. This is going to be your TV mount. So like I was talking about the TV mount at the entry door, you can relocate that into here and you'll have your hookup here as well as a 110 outlet to plug a TV in and use there. The two windows in this bedroom are going to operate pretty much like the other two that I've demonstrated. This is going to be your slider window. The window on the off door side of the trailer is going to be your fire exit window for the bedroom. It's going to operate like the fire exit window at the dinette. Moving overhead, this light in here is going to be the push button control with the push button right in the middle of it. That just turns it on and off. And then you have a vent that's right over the bedroom to you know, pull some fresh air or allow some fresh air in and out of the trailer. Cool upgrade on this is to actually replace this with a powered vent. So you can actually have some air control by turning a fan on and off, kind of like what's in the bathroom. Other than that, we've got some storage in here overhead. And we've got a couple of reading lights underneath here. They just have a little push button on them. And again, and these are kind of a two-tone light, so the default's going to be blue, just kind of for accent lighting. But if you long press the power button, and you're going to get your white light, that it's going to give you some reading light for you there. Underneath your bed, we're going to have some storage. And underneath this panel right here is going to be your spare tire. So this would be, if you get a flat or anything, this is where your spare tire is located for access. It's going to be your freshwater tank over there. So you can fit pretty much whatever you need to in here. Just don't put anything sharp so you don't puncture your tank or rip these wires down or anything like that. Just be cautious of what you're putting in. But good little decent amount of storage here. If you just want to have privacy from the rest of the trailer, but you don't need to isolate the bedroom or the bathroom, they do have a curtain here that just slides along the track here. It's a good idea to grab these up at the top and pull with these rollers. And then it just slides over all the way to there and kind of gives you some privacy for your bedroom. And then just push along the top to put it all the way back in the corner. And again, this is held in place with a Velcro strap, kind of like your window curtains are, and it just secures like that. Down on this side, you do have another USB port for charging cell phones or whatever you would like down there. And that's on the off-door side of the trailer. And I think that pretty much covers your 19 ERD vintage cruiser. Once again, I'm Cody with Princess Craft, and if you have any questions and I didn't cover something, don't hesitate to give us a call.